When I tell you I had no idea what this movie would be about before watching it, I hadn't even seen a trailer for it. As a creator of an animated film myself, I was actually really surprised when I started watching it and realized that it was an animation. With that being said, the animation in this movie was amazing. It's such an interesting art style, and it honestly helped to shed light on what Cybertron actually looked like. My whole childhood, I've watched Transformers films casually, and I always wondered what their home planet looked like in its prime, no pun intended. But it was really cool to see a bright and colorful, semi-functioning community on Cybertron. And while I'm mentioning the animation, here comes some spoilers. In the ending battle when Megatron and Optimus Prime are fighting, I love how the animators really double down on the idea of Megatron seeing red. Not only do his eyes turn his iconic red, but they sort of blur and move with him while he's fighting, which I thought was such a nice touch. Let's talk about the social dynamics between Optimus and Megatron. I absolutely loved this origin story. I must admit that it took me a little while to catch on to the fact that I was looking at Optimus and Megatron, and I'm actually embarrassed to admit how long it took me to recognize that B was actually Bumblebee. I only realized who everyone was because I was looking up the actors and actresses during the movie, and that's when I saw the names of the characters that they were playing. But getting back to the point, I truly love the character development of both Optimus Prime and Megatron. I'll start with Megatron. I really like how, despite obviously being annoyed with Optimus Prime's antics, he is always down for the cause for his best friend. Well, at first he is anyway. The film also does a great job at showing just how much Megatron idolizes Sentinel and even Megatronius Prime. Megatron's disarray when he learns about the truth about Sentinel is a classic case of never meet your heroes. It's a cautionary tale about what happens when you place so much faith in others and hold them on a pedestal. I hope that audiences watching can take this and apply it to celebrity culture nowadays and understand the importance of not idolizing people we've never met, or people at all for that matter. When Megatron and Optimus are given their cogs, and after Megatron's idolizations about Sentinel are crushed, Megatron, for lack of better terms, crashes out. There's this meme circulating online about how awful it would be if you and your friend got powers and you want to use them for good and your friend wants to use their powers maliciously. Yeah, well, Megatron is that friend. In this case, I sort of love how he unravels and becomes our beloved villain. However, it's sad to see the bond that he shared with Optimus literally break the moment that he let Optimus fall to his death. Despite how sad this was, the moment was something that I felt worked authentically into the story. Megatron justified letting Optimus fall off that cliff because he was tired of saving him, which I feel like is valid since, as I mentioned before, Megatron was always down for the ride, ready to cover for Optimus or feed into his shenanigans whenever. Also, shout out to Brian Tyree Henry for his phenomenal job voicing Megatron. Now let's briefly talk about Optimus. All throughout the film, I kept on saying, this just sounds like Chris Hemsworth unsuccessfully executing an American accent. But when he gave that little pep talk to the miners, it all clicked. The voice and everything. He sounded just like what I'd imagine a young Optimus to sound like. Also, I love seeing a young and high energy Optimus Prime throughout the movie. Again, who doesn't love a good origin story? Before I give my final rating, I must say that Keegan-Michael Key did a good job at voicing Bumblebee. B is always the comedic relief, and any chance that I get to hear Bumblebee speaking in his original voice and not through the radio, it's a treat. Scarlett Johansson also did a great job voicing Alita 1. Overall, I'm giving this film a 7.5 out of 10. Actually, no, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. The story itself wasn't mind-blowing. Maybe it was a little predictable, but isn't every origin story a little predictable? Also, the fact that we're giving this origin story to such iconic characters is a huge plus. We have some nice character development in there too. Also, there's just so many cool Easter eggs, like the shout out to Ratchet when Optimus and Megatron are in the infirmary. Let me know what you think of Transformers 1 in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.